Welcome back, D-traders. New events have already made their impact on the market sentiment on Wall Street. What has actually happened? Let's find out what our experts say. The US stock market had a sluggish session on Monday, and the major stock indexes were hovering around the levels of Friday. Wall Street indexes traded with minor fluctuations and closed mixed. The Dow Jones edged up 0.3%, the Nasdaq shed 0.4%, and the S&P 500 closed with a 0.1% uptick at 3,966 points. Today, Wall Street remains in a sleeping mode during the pre-market. Apparently, investors are cautious, sitting on the sidelines of the Fed's policy meeting. However, investors cannot downplay a series of red-hot corporate reports. The session today could be either highly volatile or subdued. The S&P 500 is expected to trade in the intraday corridor between 3,890 and 3,980. US stock traded mixed on Monday in anticipation of the busy trading week. Thus, investors were in the wait-and-see mood. Today, the Fed Reserve is assembling for the two-day policy meeting. The long-awaited decision will be unveiled tomorrow. As for the economic calendar, investors will get to know the Consumer Sentiment Index for the conference board. The index is projected to decline by 1.5 points. Besides, new home sales could have contracted by 36,000 units. These reports are of secondary importance to market sentiment. The market catalyst is a series of corporate reports, and this week almost one-third of the companies included in the S&P 500 are due to present their financial reports. Alphabet and Microsoft are the first to report on their quarterly profits tonight. Walmart set the stock market in motion. The retail giant's shares slumped 9.1% in the pre-market after the company warned investors about a decline in profits. Shares of Target and Amazon followed suit and declined 5% in the pre-market. On the other hand, Coca-Cola shares rose 1% after the company had upgraded its revenue forecast for the whole of 2022. Thus, its shares climbed 0.2% in the pre-market. McDonald's surpassed market expectations of a quarterly revenue, thus its shares grew 0.2%. General Electric's shares surged 6% on Tuesday because the industrial giant reported higher than expected revenue and profits. All in all, investors have a lot of information to digest apart from the Fed's decision on interest rates and the US GDP data. The US dollar perked up and won back most of the losses incurred last week. Its index jumped to 107.20 today and retreated to 107 points. The intraday corridor for the index is in between 106.70 and 107.50. Market participants are trying to puzzle out at what pace the US Fed will raise interest rates and whether the US economy has already slipped into recession. The answers to these questions will determine market sentiment on the US dollar. Investors are betting on the rate hike of 75 basis points, so they will be looking for clues to further policy moves in Jerome Powell's press conference. The Fed's leader might not indicate the size of the next rate hike. Alternatively, he might drop a hint about a rate hike by 50 or 75 basis points. However, investors are interested if the regulator is going to make a pause. After the rate hike this week, the federal funds rate will settle at the neutral level in the eyes of the policymakers. A further increase in the borrowing costs will affect economic growth and, after all, will curb inflation. The revival of the US dollar pushed the USD CAD pair up immediately. The currency pair climbed from 1.2820 and went upward. The intraday corridor for the pair is seen between 1.2850 and 1.2930. No wonder the loonie is losing ground ahead of the Fed's policy update. The US dollar is ready to resume its rally and tighten its grip on the Canadian rival. Besides, fresh economic data is also bearish for the Canadian dollar. Canada's wholesale sales grew 0.5% in June, much weaker than the consensus of a 2% rise following the previous reading of a 1.6%. As for the energy market, gas prices leapt by 17% in Europe, and the oil prices added 1.5% in light of the statement by Gazprom. The Russian oil supplier will slash its gas flow via Nord Stream by 20%. The crypto market is trading lower today because the US Securities and Exchange Commission is conducting an investigation into Coinbase. In this context, Bitcoin lost 5.6% to trade at $20,900. Ethereum dropped 8.78%. The American watchdog is checking whether Coinbase allowed Americans to trade digital assets that should have been registered as securities. Coinbase was spotted by the Commission after the crypto platform expanded the list of tokens available for trading, and the regulator is scrutinizing the scheme while Coinbase is rejecting the charges. All in all, the outlook for Bitcoin is rather weak on the back of the looming rate hike and the opposite correlation of the crypto market with the US dollar index. The flagship crypto could decline to 20,000 and slide even lower, otherwise it might recover to $21,200. Follow developments in financial markets on InstaForex TV channel, and good luck. See you tomorrow.